All right, gentlemen, with this one right here, we are on the tactical, and we are going to get into the most deadly boss damage in the entire game. We are going to tie this to our max scans, and the fire rate of the grenades on top of the damage that it does is really going to allow us to delete bosses in the hardest content in the game. So it is very, very powerful, and I think this is the best the grenade launcher has felt since it's got its nerf. So obviously, we're not going to keep our nades up how we used to be able to, but the damage that we're going to do in these maximum scans and just the rate of fire of the nades is really what allows you to do this type of damage and use these scans the best on the tactical. We're going to get into everything that you see on the screen here. We're going to go into our class perks. We're going to talk about the grenade launcher itself, and then we will dive into our secondary and our melee weapon as well. So we're going to start right here with our prestige perks. We have Acuity, and then we have Fortitude, Skilled Supplier, and Spare Power. So we don't have our 40% stim, but this is giving us a nade or two. So if you wanted to drop anything, I would drop Skilled Supplier for your 40% stim. That would not be a bad choice, but I highly recommend keeping Spare Power. Tying this with your nades, since you're going to use small ammo boxes to get your nades back, you're going to grab 25% ability charge on top of that, and anything that you scan, guys, is going to absolutely be deleted. And then we have Plasma Boost here, because we are going to have our Plasma Pistol tied to our secondary weapon. We're going to have Heightened Vigor for our knockback resistance. We are taking Emperor's Vengeance, and we also have Secure Stockpile. So this is going to give us 3 nades a minute, because you're going to have 2 that you're going to get for your grenade launcher, and then you'll get 1 that you, whatever you have equipped. So that is like the most powerful nades, combination that you can get in the entire game. And then we have Vital Data here. Extremist level or higher enemies is going to give us our 50% charge back. So you are only using your scans on extremists or higher level enemies, guys. Always get your 50% back. And then we have Precise Calibration and Concentrated Fire. So this is obviously what is making the grenade launcher such a deadly boss weapon, and just deadly weapon to anything that you scan in general. But the reason that the bolt rifle is going to tie best with this type of scan is because of the amount of damage that it can do in such a short period of time. So the nades are doing a lot of damage, but you can also fire them extremely quickly. So that is why this build really feels so good. And then we have Radiating Impact. 100% you take this. This is like the strongest AoE in the entire game, and it hits everything extremely hard. And we're going to move straight to our bolt rifle here. So obviously we got the grenade launcher, and then we are going for the bottom row here for our maximum ammunition. Maximum magazine size is going to increase our grenades. And then I am peeking up here for recoupment for the armor every 15 seconds from headshot kills, and then fast reload. So if you wanted to drop anything, you would drop fast reload and you would drop recoupment, and then you could possibly go with headhunter and honed precision. So the reason why you're really, I'm really not doing that is because the grenade launcher is basically what you're going to really try to take advantage of. A lot of the times when you run out of your grenades, it's going to be more beneficial to you to switch over to your plasma pistol, because that hits even harder than your the bolt rifle itself. Bolt rifle is not horrible. It will help you out some like horde clear and things like that. But overall, once you run out of nades, that is when you're going to go over to your plasma pistol. And one of the main things about the grenade launcher, guys, definitely in Siege, you're working by your buy stations. Strategically set up buy stations with small ammo boxes so you can grab ability charge back and you can grab nades at will. So that is why it is extremely deadly when it comes to Siege mode and when we are getting into our plasma pistol. So there are 2 ways that you're going to want to set this up. You're going to want to grab ammo. If obviously you want the maximum amount of charge shots you can get off. If you want this to do the best damage in the scans, then you're going to want rate of fire, because the faster you can get your charge shots off, the more hits you're going to get when they're scanned. And like I said, the scan's smaller and they have to stay in it. So the faster you can shoot, the better. So always rely on your grenade launcher first in the scans, because that's going to give you the most damage. But then your plasma pistol is going to outdo anything your bolt rifle can do on its own without the launcher. So then you're going to switch over to this, and if you have the faster charge, you're going to get more charges off while they're in the scan. But either one of these are good, guys. And then how you're setting it up here is going to be like this right here. We're going max blast radius, and we are grabbing a bunch of ammunition as well. So that's definitely the best way to set that guy up. And then I'm recommending you go with the knife. Honestly, anytime you can sacrifice going with the knife over the chainsword, do it. I mean, if you don't need the chainsword for like horde clear and thing like that, you're going to want to switch over to the combat knife because of shadow stab. And definitely, dude, if you get it stuck in like, if you get a terminus enemy hit on your scan and then you hit it with shadow stab, it is a huge chunk of life that they lose. So this is a very powerful weapon for melee against bosses, extremists, and things like that. So that's why if you can, and you don't need the horde clear, go with the knife. And then we are dropping shoulder bash, or no, not dropping shoulder bash. I'm taking shoulder bash. But if you're going to drop anything, you can drop shoulder bash and go with the 5% melee down here. And you're definitely going to want to grab this Terminus Slayer for the 20% extra on Terminus enemies, because like I said, on the bosses, this is very impactful. Definitely if you drop like a Neothrope to the ground, you can hit a ton of damage by hitting off a Shadow Stab.